Okay, so we need to talk about Elon Musk
Hmm.
and, more specifically, the end goal of human civilization.
That's a pretty big topic to start with.
It sounds dramatic, I know, but he is out there right now openly talking about something called a Kardashev Scale to civilization as our necessary next step.
Right.
But what's really fascinating to me isn't just the goal itself, which is huge. It's the brutal, cold clarity of why he thinks that's the only goal that actually matters. I mean, think about this for a second. Let this really sink in. Musk states, and the physics, it backs him up, that our sun produces well over 1 billion times more energy than everything we use on Earth.
1 billion.
1 billion times more than everything we could ever possibly generate combined. I mean, that immediately sets an overwhelming scale, doesn't it?
Wow,
It makes all of our current debates, solar farms here, fusion reactors there, it makes them feel almost provincial.
Local.
Exactly, local. And the implication is just, it's enormous. Is this just some aspirational thought experiment, something we talk about in sci-fi circles? Or does his confidence, his statement that stellar solar power is the only path, does that suggest a deeper, maybe even an accelerated understanding of what it takes to survive in the galaxy?
It does make you wonder if he's signaling something.
Right. Is he signaling that he knows something about the fragility of just being on a planet that maybe we don't fully grasp yet?
Wow. That's an immediate gut check on our place in the universe.
This is a massive recalibration. Okay, let's unpack this.
That sounds like a journey we absolutely need to take.
Welcome, everyone, to The Deep Dive. If this is your first time joining us, or if you've been with us since the beginning, we're thrilled to have you here. Please take a moment, like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss one of these explorations. Now, let's dive into the cosmic math that underpins this whole mandate. To really get why the focus is so intense on Type 2, on stellar mastery, we have to start with the fundamental physics of our own solar system. And the truth is, it's just completely lopsided.
Lopsided how?
In power and, more importantly, in mass.
Okay.
So look at the mass budget of our solar system. The sun, our star, holds about 99.8% of the total mass.
99.8.
Just under 100%, yeah. Now, the next biggest thing is Jupiter, right? Our gas giant. That accounts for about 0.1%.
So those two are basically everything.
Basically everything. Everything else, Earth, Mars, Venus, all the asteroids, every single comet, it's all just lumped into that tiny remaining fraction, much, much less than 0.1%. So what does that math tell you?
They were jarring small.
It tells you that planetary resources and planetary energy are, for all practical purposes, completely irrelevant at the grand scale.
Irrelevant.
At the cosmological scale of the solar system, yes. We focus on Earth's abundance because, we live here. We see the ocean and think endless water. We see the planet's crust and think endless materials. But compared to that stellar engine 93 million miles away, everything we have is just noise.
It makes our entire industrial revolution feel like we were just playing in the cosmic sandpit.
That's a perfect way to put it. And Musk used this incredibly dramatic, slightly terrifying thought experiment to illustrate this. He said, imagine you could somehow burn the whole Earth.
Burn the Earth.
Yeah, and by burn, he means convert its entire mass, every rock, every drop of water, into a thermonuclear power source.
Okay.
And then, just for good measure, you also manage to burn Jupiter, which, he says will be quite challenging to burn. But let's say you do it. You turn Jupiter into a giant reactor.
Right.
The total energy produced by the sun would still round up to 100% of the available energy.
Wait. Really?
Yes.
Even if we vaporize 2 planets, the sun is still 100%.
Absolutely. The contribution from Earth and Jupiter, even completely annihilated for their energy, would be too small to change the rounding. It's a rounding error.
That is hard to comprehend.
You could teleport 2 more Jupiters into our system and burn them, and the sun would still dominate. If the sun is 99.9999% of the Powerball, it rounds up. This is the fundamental, unforgiving truth of cosmic math. And this perspective is the key. It's why he insists that true, large-scale, stellar, solar capturing the star's energy is the only thing that matters for long-term survival.
Everything else is just background noise.
Exactly, just residual energy.
Yeah.
And that insight, that's what leads us to the Kardashev Scale. It was developed by a Russian astrophysicist, Nikolai Kardashev, back in the 60s. He invented it as a tool, really, for trying to detect extraterrestrial civilizations. He figured a species' energy consumption would be directly related to how visible it is across the galaxy. It's a classification system based purely on power. And he came up with 3 original types. They're very simple, but daunting. Type 1 A civilization that harnesses most of the energy of its home planet.
Okay.
Type 2 harnesses most of the energy of its home star, our sun.
Right.
And Type 3, the cosmic giant.
Yeah.
It harnesses most of the energy of its entire galaxy.
Wow.
So where are we? Humanity right now. We're still climbing out of the cradle. We are currently operating at roughly 0.7 on this scale.
0.7.
Yep. We've made incredible progress, but we're still in that planetary infancy stage. We're a juvenile civilization, technologically. Musk, maybe optimistically, estimated that we are only about 1%, maybe a few percent of a true Type I civilization right now.
Only 1%.
We have a long, long way to go just to master our own home.
That's fascinating context. If we're only at 0.7 right now, what does achieving that full Type A milestone even look like in practical, tangible terms? What is life like when you're fully planetary?
Well, that jump from 0.7 to 1.0, that's the most critical transition we face. A Type I civilization is one that's achieved planetary mastery, full control over the energy of its home planet.
And we're not just talking solar panels.
No, we're talking about harnessing and storing all the energy available to Earth, not just what hits the surface. In raw numbers, a Type I civilization needs about 10 to the 16 watts.
Okay, what does that mean?
Well, our current global consumption is around 1.8 times 10 to the 13 watts. So we're talking about scaling our energy production up by a factor of over 500.
500 times. That's a total restructuring of everything.
Everything. And that power doesn't just come from solar and wind. It has to come from deep geothermal taps, immense tidal generators, and crucially, fusion reactors providing limitless clean power. The real mark of Type I mastery is controlling energy from the most destructive sources.
Like what?
Harvesting the energy from storms, earthquakes, and volcanoes.
Harnessing a volcano.
Yeah.
That's taking resilience to a whole new level.
It's about changing our relationship with the planet from enduring it to managing it. Let's look at the tech. First, infrastructure. You'd see these sprawling, hyper-efficient cities powered entirely by clean energy. The key is a planetary scale energy grid.
Not just country to country.
No, we're talking massive superconducting cables connecting continents, running under oceans, delivering constant stable power from solar arrays in the Sahara or wave generators in the deep Pacific. Zero outages. Universal access. But the real shift, the thing that changes daily life, is environmental control. Nature is no longer something we fear. We'd have global weather control.
Oh, wow.
We're talking tech that could manipulate rainfall to end a drought in one region or, yes, dramatically weaken a hurricane before it ever makes landfall.
I have to interject here. Global weather control sounds like the ultimate risk. I mean, doesn't intervening at that scale run the risk of some catastrophic feedback loop if the AI makes a mistake?
That is a fundamental hurdle, absolutely. The engineering has to be not just powerful, but perfectly redundant and self-regulating. But it goes deeper than weather. We could achieve geological stability.
Meaning, no earthquakes?
Mitigating earthquakes, yeah. By stabilizing tectonic pressures along fault lines, a massive undertaking, but necessary for mastery. And for climate, we'd move to active climate engineering, maybe massive orbital mirrors to fine-tune sunlight or active atmosphere management. It's essentially a global thermostat.
A thermostat for the whole planet.
Exactly, keeping it perfectly stable for everyone. Life in this world is, well, it's transformed. It would feel like science fiction became mundane infrastructure. You'd have a seamless blend between humans and machines. Smart cities run by planetary scale AI managing traffic, energy, logistics, even personalized healthcare. Transportation would be clean, fast, borderless. Think maglev trains crossing continents in hours.
And societally.
The concept of developed versus developing countries, it just has to vanish. There would only be one interconnected civilization with equal access to everything. Borders would blur, scarcity of resources would be eliminated, and communication would be instantaneous, universal, real-time translation. And this is where it gets interesting. Education could become nearly instantaneous, potentially delivered through direct neural links. With basic needs met and knowledge on tap, creativity and innovation, they would just explode. But this transition from a warring, resource-constrained 0.7 to a unified 1.0, it isn't mainly a tech challenge. It's political, it's cultural. And that's why it's often called the Great Filter.
The Great Filter.
It's the biggest threat to us. It demands we overcome all our divisions before we possess technology powerful enough to destroy ourselves. We have to solve inequality, manage population, and avoid global war or ecological collapse.
It sounds like this is a stage where most civilizations might fail.
That's the theory, yeah. Scientists studying the Fermi paradox, where is everybody? They speculate that many civilizations might fail right here at the Type I doorstep. They self-destruct. The risk of having 10 to the 16 watts of power while still holding on to primitive rivalries is just, it's too high.
It sounds like Type I isn't just about mastering energy, it's about mastering ourselves. The technology seems achievable, but achieving global unity on that scale,
Yeah.
that's the truly daunting hurdle.
Exactly. And Musk's focus on Type 2 then suggests a kind of pragmatic impatience. Maybe he thinks staying at point 0.7 for too long is the highest risk, but if we succeed, the reward is extraordinary. A Type I civilization is on the brink of becoming truly multiplanetary. Space elevators, orbital solar stations, asteroid mining, that all becomes routine. Earth stops being a cage and becomes our home base. So we achieve Type R, we get through the Great Filter, we unify the planet, and we're using 10 to the 16 watts. Now we look out.
To Type 2.
To Type 2, Musk's target. If Type I is planetary mastery, Type 2 is this unimaginable leap beyond it. It's harnessing the total energy output of our home star.
The entire sun.
Every photon, every second of every day. And that jumps the energy usage from 10 to the 16 watts to approximately 10 to the 28 watts.
10 to the power of 28. That's 12 orders of magnitude more. That number is just... it's abstract. How do you even begin to visualize that?
Well, let's try. Let's visualize it by what it lets you do. A Type I civilization could manage Earth's climate. A Type 2 civilization could fundamentally change the orbit of Mars.
Where?
A Type I civilization makes consumer goods. A Type 2 civilization manufactures entire moons. It's the moment a species becomes stellar in scale. It's no longer vulnerable to a single planetary catastrophe. And the iconic concept here is the Dyson sphere.
Right.
The megastructure built around a star to capture all its energy. A solid sphere is probably impractical, but the more realistic version, a Dyson swarm. That's the key. Millions, maybe trillions, of independent orbiting solar collectors and habitats, all arranged in complex layers around the star. They're constantly moving, transmitting power via focused lasers to colonies and worlds. Musk's whole point about solar being the only path. It means this megastructure has to be the center of the entire economy. The planets are just raw materials.
It sounds like we're beyond moving planets at this point. We're fundamentally reshaping the geometry of the solar system. What kind of engineering enables that?
You're absolutely right. We call it stellar scale manipulation or, well, godlike engineering. A Type 2 civilization is the master engineer of its own star system.
Godlike.
They could repurpose entire planets. Jupiter might become a massive hydrogen mining operation. They could move smaller worlds, redirect asteroids, or even alter the orbits of planets using gravitational manipulation. And advanced physics becomes engineering. Matter-energy conversion becomes routine. You're no longer limited by what you can dig up. You can convert pure energy into matter. You need a new continent on an ocean planet. You print it. They could even get into black hole engineering, using stellar mass black holes as immense power generators or physics labs. This civilization isn't just surviving its star's lifespan, it's actively shaping stars and worlds and life, this post-scarcity empire. The scale of society would be incomprehensible. Very few people might even live on Earth anymore. It would probably be a planetary park.
A museum.
Exactly, a museum. The billions or trillions of inhabitants would live in those megastructures orbiting the sun in habitats that simulate a perfect Earth environment. Scarcity is a concept from the distant past. Energy is unlimited. Food, water, shelter, all manufactured on demand atomically. There's no need for money or labor as we know it. But the biggest shift is biology.
How so?
Disease and aging would be completely eliminated. Lifespans would extend indefinitely, maybe through nanomedicine, cybernetics, or the ultimate frontier, digital consciousness transfer.
So you could upload your mind.
The line between biology and machine it completely blurs. You could choose a physical body, a synthetic one, or exist entirely as a digital consciousness in a perfect custom virtual reality.
If scarcity and death are eliminated, what is the core motivation of a Type 2 society? What does a person do all day when work is obsolete and they are essentially immortal? That sounds like a philosophical crisis.
That is the philosophical hurdle that comes after the Great Filter, isn't it? The motivation shifts from survival to exploration, creativity, meaning. You might spend centuries mastering an art form or designing new types of matter.
Pure self-actualization.
And travel changes completely. Interplanetary travel in minutes or hours. A trip to a newly engineered habitat around Jupiter might be like a commute to a neighboring city today.
Wow.
Achieving Type 2 represents the ultimate expression of maturity, technologically, socially, philosophically. They have to have mastered collective decision-making, because misusing 10 to the 28 watts of power could literally vaporize a world.
So they would be.
Oh, absolutely. A beacon in the galaxy. Massive energy signatures, engineered stars, planetary systems arranged with purpose. They'd be visible from light years away. In fact, scientists are looking for the infrared signatures of Dyson Swarms right now. From the outside, a Type 2 society would look like gods of their solar system.
And this certainty from Musk.
Yes, that certainty that we must get there. It really does make you wonder if he's basing his drive on some kind of accelerated timeline. Perhaps an awareness that lingering too long at point 7 puts us in real jeopardy. Now, Type 2 is the goal that pragmatic minds like Musk are citing, but the scale is exponential. It forces us to stretch our imagination way beyond our star. We have to venture into the mind-bending theoretical territory.
Beyond the star.
Let's talk about Type 3, Galactic Mastery. This civilization has moved past one star. It has mastery over an entire galaxy's energy output, about 10 to the 36 watts. They are the star shepherds, rearranging and spreading their influence across hundreds of billions of stars.
Star shepherds.
Their technology it's functionally magic. They use Dyson spheres around millions of stars, and this infrastructure, it has to be built by self-replicating nanomachines. Swarms of microscopic robots traveling between stars, mining nebulae, and building new structures without any direct supervision.
So they're just autonomous pioneers.
Exactly. The engineering is what we call astroengineering. They could reorder entire solar systems to optimize energy. They could literally create or extinguish stars on command. Black holes would become their primary energy and computation hubs.
Creating stars. Extinguishing stars. That is not just technological power, that's cosmic authority.
It's absolute authority over matter in their volume. Individuals in this society, they'd be citizens of a vast galactic network living on engineered worlds the size of solar systems or entirely inside digital realities.
What does identity even mean at that point?
It shifts. A person might be a distributed consciousness, a collective of minds, or an AI swarm. They'd use stable wormholes for faster-than-light travel and communication just to keep the civilization cohesive. And here's the thought that makes Type 3 so compelling when you think about the Fermi paradox again. Why haven't we seen them?
Right.
They might be undetectable, they could cloak their energy use, or exist in forms, maybe purely gravitational, that we don't recognize as life. Our galaxy might seem empty, not because there's no one out there, but because civilizations this advanced are operating on levels we simply can't perceive.
That's a chilling thought.
Now buckle up again, because Type 4 takes us beyond the galaxy to the entire universe.
The whole universe.
A Type 4 civilization controls the total energy output of the entire universe. Trillions of stars. Their influence is woven into the fabric of the cosmos. Their technology is reality customization. They could use dark energy or dark matter as power sources. This is true reality engineering, the ability to alter the fundamental physical constants of nature.
What, like changing gravity?
Changing gravity, the speed of light, entropy, all of it, within specified zones. Imagine creating a research zone where fusion is trivially easy to achieve. Their ultimate feats would involve creation itself. They could create or destroy galaxies. They could even design new universes through artificial big bangs. The most mind-blowing idea is that they could simulate entire universes inside their computers, hosting intelligent life that has no idea it's in a sandbox.
Oh.
Individuality in a Type 5e society might expand to experiencing billions of realities at once. Consciousness could be copied, stored, reimagined. The question shifts from survival to the nature of existence itself.
What is the purpose of meaning when you control everything?
Exactly. And finally, Type V multiversal mastery.
Of course. The multiverse.
This civilization exists beyond one universe. It operates across infinite universes with different physical laws, timelines, possibilities. It navigates realities like we change TV channels.
Okay, my brain is starting to hurt.
The technology defies science. They wield metatechnology, tools that manipulate logic and causality itself. They could write new laws of physics for any universe they choose. They could link entire timelines into one vast mega-intelligence for computation.
A single conscious entity.
It might function like that, yes, spread across countless realities. You wouldn't be born. You might be instantiated across multiple realities at once. Reality becomes tailored to your thoughts.
From our perspective, they'd be mythological.
Absolutely. They could observe every possible version of us across every choice we ever make. They're cosmic gardeners, seeding life across infinite timelines. If Type V deals with infinite realities, Type 6 ventures into territory so advanced it truly operates at the level of divinity. We're talking about manipulating the source code of existence itself.
The source code.
A Type 6 civilization operates on the fundamental fabric of reality. They have access to the underlying meta laws that allow universes to emerge at all. They don't just work within the rules, they rewrite the rules from outside all known dimensions.
They were programmers.
Cosmic programmers, yeah. They adjust the parameters that spawn new realities, define what matter and energy and time even are. They engineer universes like developers write code.
What form would they even take?
Utterly abstract. Maybe pure intention. A pattern. A consciousness that exists both within and beyond all realities. They don't travel because they're already everywhere and every when. Time and space are just moldable constructs to them.
And what would it be like to exist in that state?
It might mean being a node in an infinite awareness. You could simultaneously exist as every version of yourself in every universe, with access to every thought ever conceived. The self might merge into a unified field of awareness. Their focus turns to the ultimate question. The why of existence. They seek to uncover or even become the origin of all things. Science, philosophy, art, it all becomes one continuous exploration.
So if they are rewriting the rules of reality, they aren't bound by cause and effect as we know it. They could undo their mistakes simply by editing the past.
Causality itself would be an optional constraint they could apply or remove at will. They could run infinite simulations of their own history, find the optimal path, and just instantiate that as their reality. It's power beyond comprehension. We might, in fact, be living in one of their creations right now.
Our universe as a simulation.
A stable, interesting simulation designed by these beings to observe emergent complexity. And finally, we arrive at the theoretical absolute limit, Type 7, totality and absolute abstraction.
There's a test heaven.
This level exists outside of and defines everything else. It's beyond all multiverses, all meta laws. It isn't a participant in existence. It is existence. It dictates what reality even means.
So the Kardashev Scale,
Yeah.
energy, that just doesn't apply anymore.
It breaks down entirely. A Type 7 civilization wouldn't rely on energy or matter. It might originate from a plane of pure abstraction, where concepts like time and physics are just customizable layers it can manifest.
So there's technology.
Isn't tools, it's pure expressions of will. With a single thought, they could create entire meta-realities, each with its own infinite multiverses, each with its own Type I through 6 civilizations.
I have no words.
Life here, if that word still has meaning, doesn't involve form or location. A being might be the concept of moments, not just experience them. Having achieved absolute creation, there are no desires, no struggles. Perhaps the purpose of a Type 7 is simply to experience totality, to continuously birth new forms of expression, just to prevent infinite boredom.
Unthinkable.
It is, but it expands our imagination to the absolute limit of what consciousness might become. So, we've taken this incredible journey, haven't we?
We certainly have.
From our current point 7 status, just struggling to unify as a planet, through the immense challenge of Type I unification, and into the cosmic engineering of Type 2, Musk's stated goal. His laser focus, his insistence that Type 2 is purely about stellar energy. It emphasizes a pragmatic, almost impatient drive. He seems to dismiss all the terrestrial power debates and just says that planetary phase is noise. The only thing that matters is capturing the star.
He sees Type I as just a project to be completed quickly.
An inevitable next step that we simply must execute.
Yeah. So, if he's so focused on Type 2, is he essentially signaling that the great filter of planetary unification is something he believes is either manageable, maybe through AI coordination, or perhaps already underway in a way we haven't fully acknowledged?
I think he has to believe the filter is manageable, yes. Or maybe that the solution to the filter is Type 2 itself. By focusing on a stellar economy, he's prioritizing the post-filter challenges. He's signaling that the resources we truly need for survival aren't here anyway, they're out there. And that level of focus, that certainty that Type 2 is the only sensible next step. It does make you wonder if he's basing that drive on an accelerated timeline, or maybe a deeper awareness of the profound risk that faces civilizations that linger too long at this fragile point 7 stage. So here's the final provocative thought to leave you with, especially after talking about Types 3V and 6. If a Type 2 civilization appears like gods to us, and a Type 5V civilization can create universe-sized simulations, how certain are we, really, that our current, very fragile journey towards Type I isn't just part of a longer dream being dreamt by an entity far, far up the scale? It challenges us to consider that expanding our knowledge of the cosmos might, in fact, ultimately reveal the boundaries and maybe the true author of our own reality. Thanks for diving deep with us. We'll see you next time.